You are born into a world made entirely of ice. You cannot see it yet. Your eyes are barely open, and the first thing you feel is not light but cold, pressing in from every direction. Then warmth. You have slipped from your shell into the one small pocket of heat that exists for 1,000 miles in any direction. The brood pouch of your father, a fold of bare skin above his feet. You are wet, blind, and weigh less than a stick of butter. Outside that pouch, the temperature is 60 degrees below zero. Welcome to inside the animal, where you don't just learn about a creature, you live its entire life. Today, you are born an emperor penguin, the only animal that chooses to raise its young in the heart of the Antarctic winter, in the coldest, darkest, windiest place on Earth. Let's go back to before you hatched. Your mother laid you as a single egg, months ago, at the end of the brief Antarctic autumn. She did something remarkable. She passed you carefully from the top of her own feet to the top of your father's, in a transfer so delicate that if you touched the ice for more than a few seconds, you would have frozen solid before you ever lived. Then she turned and walked away, back toward the sea, 50 miles or more across the frozen continent. She did not abandon you. She was starving. To make you, she gave up almost half her body weight, and now she had to feed. So she left you with your father, and he made a promise written into millions of years of instinct. He would not eat. He would not leave. He would hold you on his feet through the deepest cold the planet can produce, and he would wait. For roughly 65 days, your father balanced your egg on his feet and did nothing but survive. He did not feed once. He huddled with thousands of other fathers, all of them pressing together into a vast shuffling mass, taking turns on the freezing outer edge and the warm center, a slow rotation that the biologist Jerome Daniel and his colleagues measured moving in tiny waves, every penguin shifting just a few centimeters at a time so that no bird stays in the wind too long. This huddle is the only reason any of you are alive, and then, in the dark, you hatch. Your father has been waiting for you with the last of his strength. He produces a small amount of a curd-like substance from his throat, a kind of milk, and it is the first thing you ever eat. It is also nearly the last thing he has to give. If your mother does not return soon, you will both die, but she does return. She finds your father among thousands of identical birds by sound alone. Emperor penguins have a two-voiced call, produced by both sides of their vocal organ at once, and the researcher Thierry Orbin and his team showed that a chick and parent can recognize each other's voices across a screaming, crowded colony. Your mother calls, your father answers, and after months apart, in the noise of 10,000 penguins, they find each other. Now your mother takes over. Her belly is full of fish and squid she has carried back across the ice, and she feeds you while your father, at last, turns toward the sea to save his own life. He has lost almost half of everything he was. Many fathers do not make it back to the water in time, but yours walks on. You are a chick now, a round grey ball of down with a black and white face, and you are utterly helpless. You cannot regulate your own heat. You cannot swim. You cannot feed yourself. For weeks, your parents take turns. One stands guard and warms you, the other walks the long road to the ocean and back, returning with food. Each trip is a gamble. Leopard seals wait at the ice edge. Storms can erase the trail. This is the most dangerous time of your life. The biologists who study emperor colonies have found that in a hard year, a large share of chicks do not survive their first season. Some freeze when a parent is late. Some are taken by giant petrels, gull-like seabirds with 7-foot wingspans that patrol the colony looking for any chick left alone. When a petrel's shadow crosses the ice, you press low and still. You grow. Soon you are too big to fit on anyone's feet, so you do what every emperor chick must do. You join the others. You gather into a creche, a nursery huddle of chicks, packed together for warmth, while both your parents are away at sea at the same time, because now you need so much food that one parent alone cannot supply it. You stand shoulder to shoulder with hundreds of other gray chicks in the wind, and you wait, and you trust that the right two adults will come back for you and no one else. They always do. They know your voice. The Antarctic spring begins to arrive. The light returns. The colony, which has survived the darkest months on the planet, begins to thin as the sea ice breaks up and the open water creeps closer. And now the hardest lesson of your young life comes. Your parents stop coming back as often. Then they stop coming back at all. This is not cruelty. This is how you become an emperor. Hungry, you finally leave. You shed the last of your grey down, your waterproof adult feathers grow in, and you walk to the edge of the ice and look at the sea for the first time. You have never swum. No one will teach you. You step off the ice into the freezing southern ocean, and instinct takes over, and you fly underwater. Because that is what an emperor penguin truly is. On land you are slow and clumsy. In the water you are transformed. You are built like a torpedo, your wings now stiff flippers, and you can dive deeper than any other bird alive. The biologist Gerald Kuhlman, who pioneered the study of penguin diving, recorded emperors descending more than 500 meters, holding their breath for over 20 minutes in the black cold, hunting fish and squid in darkness most creatures never see. Your body slows its own heart to save oxygen. You were born to do this. For years now you live at sea. You grow into your full size, over a meter tall, the largest penguin on Earth, nearly 90 pounds at your heaviest. You learn the ocean. You learn to fear the leopard seal and the orca, and to read the ice. Most emperors who survive to adulthood live around 15 to 20 years, and a few far longer. You are one of the survivors. The brutal first winter that killed so many of your creche did not kill you, and then one autumn something turns inside you. The days shorten. The pull you cannot name takes hold, and you leave the sea and walk back onto the ice, back toward the place where you were born, joining a river of thousands of penguins, all walking the same way for the same reason. You have come back to begin a life of your own. You find a mate, emperors caught with calls and slow, mirrored movements, bowing to one another in the cold. For this single season, the two of you are bound together. Your partner lays one precious egg. And now you understand, in your body, the thing your parents did for you. If you are the father, you take the egg onto your own feet and watch your mate walk away toward the sea, and you settle in to wait and starve, and hold your child against the dark exactly as your father once held you. You do this again across the seasons of your life. Some years your chick survives. Some years the ice breaks too early, or the storms are too long, or your mate does not return in time, and you lose the egg, and you walk back to the sea with nothing, and you try again the next year. This is the cost of raising young in the harshest nursery on Earth. The years pass, you grow old. 20 years is a long life for an emperor, and few reach it. Your dives grow shorter. The long march inland grows harder. Scientists tracking colonies from satellites, including teams led by Peter Fretwell of the British Antarctic Survey, have watched the sea ice. These birds depend on grow less reliable, and they warn that the world you were born into is changing faster than your kind has ever faced. One season you do not make the journey. Perhaps the sea takes you, a leopard seal in the cold green water. Perhaps you simply slow, far out in the ocean you were built for, and the deep closes over you for the last time. Your body returns to the sea that fed you your whole life, and feeds it back in turn. You were born into a world made entirely of ice, blind and helpless on your father's feet, weighing less than a stick of butter, with almost no chance of surviving your first year. And you lived. You crossed the darkest winter on the planet, learned to fly through black water, came back to hold your own child against the cold, and became, for a while, the emperor of the ice. Thank you for living this life with me, out on the Antarctic ice where the wind never stops. If you felt the weight of it, consider subscribing and tell me in the comments which animal's life you want to live next. Until then, take care of the warm, small life you've been given. I'll see you inside the next animal.